Howdy y'all, thank you for watching. Today we are going to be looking at our new tractor, the Massey Ferguson 4710. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the wind. It is a little windy today. It's supposed to be thunderstorms tomorrow and it's kind of coming in, but let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. Alright, so first off, this tractor has the 931 loader on. This is Massey's new loader that they are running this year for their heavy duty loaders. This is not the 931X, which the 46 has. This is the 931 heavy duty loader. You can get the 931X on this tractor. Usually that's what you see, but this one does have the 931. This loader is actually nearly identical to the same loader that's on the 5400 tractor. It has the pull-up feet. You just slide them down, lock them in place to take it loose. You have your auto locks on the side of it to lock in once you pop it on there, so you don't have to get out of the tractor just to lock it in for that, but you do have to fold up the stands. Now it does have the Euro style quick attach, the same as the 5400. I do like that about it. We went ahead though, being we have so many implements for the skid steers, we got a skid steer adapter to go onto the Euro, so that way if we want to, we can just put this adapter on the front of this tractor or the 5400, and we can use any of our skid steer implements that we have to go on the front of these loaders now with this Euro style, which the European style will hold up a lot better. It doesn't have the break off like the skid steer ones do. They won't come loose, and they're, in my opinion, they're a whole lot easier to hook up than the skid steer from a tractor because you can't see as well. Now this tractor has the solid front axle on it, just like the 5400, heavy duty front four-wheel drive axle. Air cleaners in the front. You have a screen, one screen to clean out in the front of it. It has, this tractor, it has got the 3-cylinder AGCO engine, sort of like the 46 had. It has ground level fueling on the side. The tank on this thing is like 34 gallons, I think. It's 33 or 34 gallons, and we'll get into that here in a minute. It has trail bore tires on it. They have big wide opening doors on these. The mirrors on it is another thing. Has large mirrors. That is one thing I really like, and they're extendable kind. They went ahead and put those on it with the deluxe models. Rear tail lights, up tail light, or top cab lights. You got your remotes on the side, which the 46 doesn't have. The back, you got heavy lift arm cylinders like the 5400 has on each side. Then your spool valves are here. This one has 2, which kind of goes along with most of what we have. Everything just about has 2. They have the pin style stabilizers for the rear 3-point. Back here you have your sight glass for your fluid, which I like, so I don't have to pull a dipstick all the time. You have a 1000 shaft that comes with this, or 540. You can order these tractors with 540E, which I would like to have, but I don't believe they have that available. I didn't really ask, but I don't think they have that available with 1002. You either have 540 and 1000 or 540 and 540E. You can put this in neutral, which allows you to be able to spin the shaft, the PTO shaft on the tractor. You just swap it up and down from 1000 to 540 to switch on the side here. It does have a steel PTO cover where the 46 had plastic. Like that they did that. And the one thing that the 46 had, this tractor has, our 383 has it, but the 5400 does not, is this style hook for the center links right here. Now those work okay. The problem I have with this style is they flop around, and over time they'll get loose and they'll fall down like that, and they'll start to dance, and before you know it, it's laying down here. not like that. They had them right on the 5400 series, where they put the rod that came up and it pinned into this, and it held it still. It would not flop, it would not fall, it would not move. I made one for the 46. I'm going to put one on this one too and modify that and change it, because I cannot stand those. If somebody from Massey's watching, please go back to the style that y'all had on the 5400s, where they pin up here and hold themselves up. It's 10 times better than those little things. But other than that, everything on the rear end of the tractor is pretty well built. I mean, your drawbar is real heavy, everything back here. This tractor is extremely heavy for a utility tractor. And yes, it is a utility tractor. One other thing the Deluxe comes with is a rear wiper. Normal, we don't ever get those, but it comes with the package of the Deluxe model. You get all this stuff that you see, which is majority of all these tractors I've seen are Deluxes. Most people want the power shuttle instead of the manual shuttle. Okay, now we're in the tractor. I'm just going to go over the features, and then I'll talk a little more about it here in a minute, about all the nitty-gritty details. But first off, you have your normal Massey Ferguson like the 5400 has. Power shuttle. You have your clutch aggressiveness adjustment here, lights, horn, wiper blades for the front, and sprays here. Your loader is here. This tractor, we did get third function. It's on the back side. Let me lean up here on these two switches. Here it's a 6-speed high and low transmission. This is your declutcher. You don't have to use the clutch to shift. You can just push this button in and shift like that, and never use the clutch or nothing when you're rolling. Over here you have your hand throttle. You have the spool valves are here. It does have locks for each of those. Here, this tractor has auto full drive, and you can unlock it completely. Then you have your differential lock, PTO switch, raise and lower. This is your little locker that'll adjust the height that you have for your 3-point, so that way when you get to it, it'll stop. Normally, I think you can. They have a switch here for the up and down too. You can get it as an option. This is your auto throttle. Now, what this is say when you're pulling an implement, you gotta normally have it at like 2,000 RPM, just as an example. Well, rather than having to use the throttle, you can use this button, or like our old chamber balers we used to have that had chains. We would lower the throttle down when baling, when we take off, and then we'd go back into it. Well, with this, you can set your throttle at the lower RPMs, and then when you get ready to crank the baler back up, you just hit this button, and you don't have to worry about trying to adjust it by hand and getting it just right every time. You just hit the button. Now, to set this, you set your RPMs like you want them, and then you hold this button down for 3 seconds, and then it'll automatically set itself. Over here on the cab post, you have the key. This is your draft control. Then you have your, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, hopefully you can. This is your windshield wiper switch for the rear, and then you have front lights, and the loader lights have a switch, and then the rear lights have a switch. Up here is the air conditioner. There's 4 speeds, on and off, high and low. Then the radio they add. It does come, all of them have speakers already in them. Up here, all the windows open except for the front, the rear window. One thing this one doesn't have that I'm kind of actually missing is the lower window that all the Fergusons generally have from the old Do It Alice days. It's down here. This one doesn't have it, which is kind of a little bit disappointed about. Down here you have cigarette lighter port and everything, then your normal plugs for service and power and everything. This side you have a little holder. You can put your manual in it or any other paperwork. Then you have a storage bin in this fender, a cup holder, another little holder. And again on this side too that we're on, it has a cup holder, another little holder back here. Then this tractor has the buddy seat in it, and you just pick this up and it'll fold out and lock it. We wanted that for my little boy, so that way he could ride with us in them comfortably and he wouldn't have to ride in our lap. Your regular headlights is here to turn the switch on, and then you obviously on this one is the high and low beam adjustment. Here, these two buttons down here are what you use to adjust your screen up here. Here you have your water temperature gauge, fuel gauge, RPM, that's your four-wheel drive light, and then all your other warning lights is on there. This tractor does use DEF fluid, but it uses that system I was talking about the other day. It doesn't have an EGR or a DPF filter or anything like that. Now right here is your distance traveled with the tractor. I think this here, you can calibrate this tractor to your machine, so when you turn the PTO on, it starts counting, and you can keep up with how much ground you've covered with this tractor. This is tells you what your auto button is set at for the RPM. I got it set at basically 2,000. Then you got an RPM readout gauge down here digitally, and then this one is your miles per hour gauge. You can also flip this screen around and look at fuel consumption on it, gallons an hour, how many gallons you have left in your tank, and you can flip around to the RPM, PTO RPM, engine hours on the bottom, and then back to where we were at. The really cool thing is that I like about this is you can tell how much your fuel you're burning per hour. So if you're doing like a custom job for somebody and you're wanting to get it down to the very cent, so that way you know what to charge, or say you're doing drill and seed or something, you can keep up with everything exactly on how much you're doing from that, and it really makes it an advantage to farmers. So that way it's a way that we can really calculate everything down to the last penny, because you have to when you're farming in order to make anything. It does have lots of vents. There's vents all around this cab of this tractor. One in the back, one over here, all the way around the front, all the way around the sides. This one here. Then you have a little light up here for the cab light to turn on and off. It also has the same sunscreen as the 5400, which I like this style instead of that mesh style with the holes in it, because when the sun gets so low, even with the mesh style with holes in it, it's still blinding you through those holes. And that pulls up. It has a little mirror over here too. Steel pedals down there. Now, fully telescopic steering wheel, which the 46 does not have. This one has the tilt up and down, in and out, like the 5400 has, to where you can set it. This tractor did come with the air ride seat as well. It has a twisting seat to where you can twist it a little side to side too, if you wanted to also. And I don't think I showed it, but your high and lows down here on the side where they generally are, and then your shifters here. But let me set y'all up and we'll talk a little more. Alright, now that we went over everything, why did we make this choice? Or why did we go ahead and get another tractor? Well, back last year, if you've been subscribed for a while, you probably might remember that last fall we priced tractors. We priced the 6700 series, we priced the 5700 series, and we priced this tractor. All for alternatives to the McCormick. If y'all been following for a while, y'all probably know that it's been a problem for a little while for us. It did do very well last year, though. I will give it that. But what we're looking at is towards the future. What we're intending on doing and everything, it was just the best choice for us to get this tractor, because we, as I've said many times, we are looking in the future to getting a new round roller. And last year I run the 360 variant when the 5400 was down a good bit with it. And the tractor honestly had a little bit of a hard time with the baler, so we decided that we needed to figure something else out as an alternative, so that because eventually the Vermeer is going to be gone and the Klaus will be the backup, and we're going to need and sometimes we do run a 2 baler operation sometimes. I don't film it a lot, but a lot of times we do. And we're going to need a tractor that can handle the Klaus without any trouble, because if it feels like it's having a lot of stress, it's probably not going to last. That's the way I've always thought about stuff. And we know a lot of people that runs this 4710 series tractor with the Klaus, and they love it. So that was one reason why we changed. Another reason was just the quietness and the comfort of this one versus the 46. We did trade the 46 on this, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But the overall, this was the better choice for us as far as the future and what we're intending on doing with this tractor. We're going to be baling with it. One thing, spraying. Another reason why we wanted to change was because the McCormick would get pushed around a lot. And with the heavier front end and the 4-wheel drive that this tractor has, this tractor is heavy. With this loader, this 931 loader, and the water in the tires and everything, I'd say this tractor is weighing close to 10,000 pounds, or the high 9,000 pounds area. And it doesn't weigh what the 5400 does. But it's in between the McCormick and the 5400, which is kind of where we wanted it to be. The reason why we didn't go with 57 is because we couldn't afford it. Same with the 67. The 6700 series that we were looking at will probably be the eventual replacement for the 5400. When we do trade the McCormick off, it will be for probably one of those. That's the steal, if you ask me, for what it is and the value of it. But the 46 is gone, and none of us wanted to see that tractor go. The reason why we traded that tractor was because of what I just said, mostly because we wanted something that could handle the Klaus baler a little better, and that had more weight to it in general. Another thing was the cab comfort. Again, the 46, that tractor is built to be not a 10 to 12 hour day tractor, but we were using it for that. We actually used that tractor way more than we wanted. None of us wanted to let it go, but it was the best option that we could afford. The reason why the McCormick didn't leave is because we couldn't afford to do the trade that way, and we had to do something because we are going to be trading soon for the round roller. This is probably going to be the only purchase this year that we have planned right now that we know of. But my grandpa is mad that we got rid of that tractor. He's pretty ticked about it because that was his tractor. But he wanted a 2-wheel drive to use for fluffing and raking along with the 383. And my dad wanted a 4-wheel drive, but something different than McCormick because he wasn't happy with it for what he wanted to do with it. And we've just decided to go this route. It just made more sense to keep the McCormick and use it to fluff and rake hay with and cut with the Klaus side disc mower. And we're probably going to pull the conditioner with this one and spray with this tractor. That's another thing we're going to be doing with this tractor. Spraying. The 300-gallon sprayer will be behind this one, and then the 500-gallon will be behind the 5400 like always. But it just made a whole lot better sense for us. And another thing too that went into it was the deal we got offered was too good to pass up. The 46 had 1,200 hours on it. It would have been 3 years old in May or June, right at the end of May, beginning of June. It had been 3 years old, and it already had 1,200 hours on it now. The warranty would have went out at, I believe it, when it turned 3. And for the deal we got offered, we could get this with a heavier loader, heavier tractor, a lot better cab, built more for what we needed, or what the future holds that we needed, for a pretty good deal on the trade on it. So that had a lot to do with it. Cape King could sell anything to anybody. So, but we did trade with Kane. If you're interested in one of these and you're kind of on the limp side of not really wanting to trade because you don't quite want to spend the money, you might not want to call him, because chances are you're going to trade. He's that good. I can't say enough about them. They've been real good to us over the years about getting parts when we need it or anything. And I'd just like to say thanks to them again. But it's our new 4710. I hope y'all, there'll be a lot of videos of it. I've had several questions about this tractor, and there'll be many videos and a review of it just like there was the 46. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. What is this?
My tractor.
It's your tractor. So we had to get you a tractor, didn't we?
I did.